Sin Perate, welcome to FortiKast, sharing good vibes and the truth, and bring the Mariner community together every Friday, 5 p.m. In this episode, FortiKast talks about Bruno, I mean Encanto. Please welcome your hosts, Anton Encarnacion and Miggy de la Cruz. Alright, sup? Good day, Forti viewers! There, that's my
Good
greeting.
day, guys. Happy
Alright, so
Friday once
yeah,
again.
happy Friday. Finally, the week's done. So like, I'm really excited for this episode. I'm not kidding. Like this movie
Me
was
too.
an obsession for a while. So before we talk about that, and put it down in the comments. Who's your favorite character in Encanto? And while I wait for that, Don, how was your week?
All right. So, the week again uh, has been quite intense for senior high, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Always. But yeah. Aside from that, though, there was something interesting that happened this week where
Mm-hmm.
they were the English month competitions.
Mm-hmm.
So to everyone who joined, all the high school students who joined that, congratulations, best of luck. Uh, hope you guys win. Uh, and also the intrams, if I'm not mistaken, kicked off this week too. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited to see how that turns out. Uh, this is gonna be an exciting next week ahead. Well, this week too has been full of anticipation for this episode. As Miggy said, like this movie is really one of a kind. When I first watched it, I was like, "Wow, okay, this is different. This isn't your typical Disney movie." And yeah, I liked it like that. So, how about you, Miggy? I know that you're itching to talk about this. How was your week?
Okay, so my week, well, first of all, really great highlight was last Saturday. I think Anton knows what I'm talking about when we got to be in a meet with Jason Everett. And while I may not have seen much of his work, I saw a few videos. But when I heard of him, it just he's talking. His talks are mostly about stuff that I wanna tackle one day. So like, hey, at least I know now what one of my primary sources would be when I decide to actually go into that. And I'm glad you said the week was intense. I was starting to wonder if it's just me, if it's my fault that it feels like a hell week. Although, to be fair, when I saw that we had like already before the week started, we already had 5 things in our to-do list or so. I thought that's a lot for me who gets stressed when there's more than two. But then I remember that I found out at some point my brother had nine. So I don't know, maybe our stuff is bigger.
Grade
Definitely
school
what part of
is really different.
I
Sometimes
guess. Mhm.
I hear my brother gets like math homework every day, and I'm like, math homework every day. Oh my goodness.
Yes. I think part of what really made it intense was the Englishman competitions, and also because I stayed up all night filming that because I am not good at with deadlines. This is not advice for legal reasons for everyone watching. This is not advice. Don't be like me. But yeah, I was happy with how it turned out, and of course, intrams was also a highlight since I joined the chess competition. And by joined I mean volunteered to get my butt kicked several times. So okay, and okay, so I guess we're gonna talk about. You want me to say how I feel about the movie now? No. Before I get to that though, I want to check the
Sure.
comments.
Let's give them a sneak peek into your thoughts, Miggy. One
So
sentence about the
first
movie.
of all, we're gonna check the comments. So Lucas Lamzon, hello, and so Javi Inkaboy,
Woo!
hi to
Hello.
you, hello to you too. Okay, there we go. And Adam Kaligagan answered who his favorite character is. It is Camilo Madrigal. Highlight, please. Thank you, Camilo Madrigal. And
Favorite of
I gotta
everybody.
agree. It's my second favorite. My favorite's Dolores. I'm sorry.
Oh,
And
okay, okay.
oh, Quirky Epsilon hasn't watched it yet, but he's here for Spider-Man later, so we'll see him. Oh, and by the way, since you haven't watched it yet, for those who haven't watched it, maybe we'll try to keep the spoilers to a minimum. But since we're gonna be talking about the themes, we may have to touch on the plot here and there, but we'll try to keep it spoiler free. Okay.
Yes.
Um, Wait, mine are the in-laws. Are you so having ka boy? I got confused when you said in-laws there. I'm gonna guess those are Felix and Agustin. Yes, Felix is
Yes.
great, and
Best husbands ever.
I guess Lucas Lamzon's favorite character is the memes. Spawned a lot of memes. So if you wanna know some of my thoughts, well, to be honest, my first impression of the movie was not good when I saw the trailer. I was like, this looks like another kids movie. The whole she's the only one without powers
That's
thing.
that's
I was
true
like,
though.
everyone in the comments kind of had already predicted this will end in one of two ways. It will either end with her getting her own power or finding out I'm special without it because everyone's special. Or I had a third prediction which she's the source of the magic or something. That still kind of holds up today. But then when I found out that Mr. Hamilton Boy was the one who wrote the songs, I'm like, okay, we're checking out. I checked a compilation. I tried checking a compilation of the songs. The very first song was Family Madrigal, and I'm like, oh wait, maybe I shouldn't watch the songs because they feel like they contain spoilers. You know. Also, the very first song was
The first song, if you just listen to that, that's basically it spoils all of the
yes, it's spoiled.
characters, all their
Like
powers.
like all their powers. Yeah, and it was very exposition. It was very catchy, but at the same time, not the best representation of the entire movie as a whole. The music is phenomenal, but that might be for me my least favorite song. It felt like I don't know, but it reminded me of Dora. But then I saw the headlines of like, "Is this the best Disney movie since?" Yes, and I'm like, really? So I checked it out, and I'm like, oh, so that's what everyone was talking about.
Because
I mean,
it's at first the trailer doesn't like
the
really,
trailer isn't really.
blow
It's
you
just showcasing
away.
some of them using their powers, but like that's it.
Yes.
So when I saw the movie, I think what made it good is while the prediction of she's special without her powers is kind of true. At the same time, I didn't expect everyone to learn that in a way. Like the more they dive into the character, you're like, maybe having powers isn't such a good thing. You know? That's basically it. Um, the character with such a huge ensemble of characters, it was very impressive how they were able to give depth to most, if not all, the major characters. You know, I mean, I was thinking, who are exceptions who have not that much depth? I was thinking, does Camilo and Felix have that much depth? And I'm like, wait, actually they do. They're not one dimensional as we've said. They're very likable characters. Who I think one of their most charming features, aside from their humor, is how much they care for Peppa, which is really nice for me. Like, okay, so like no one is that just okay. They're very side. No, everyone gets some sort of spotlight at some point, and especially the ones within Mirabel's side of the family. So yeah, I think what ruined it for me though is when I see headlines before I saw the movie. I saw headlines of this fixed um the twist villain problem of Disney. I'm like, there's a twist villain. I was watching it and it never came. I was like, I was like trying to figure out who done it style, but it never came. I It turns out the twist villain is that Bruno wasn't bad or something. I don't know. I guess at this point everyone knows that, but I think I've been rambling on for too much already. Maybe we should just move in focus, right?
Let's leave. Let's check and let's introduce our guest. So now let's move on to In
Okay,
Focus.
move in focus. Let's
Roll
go.
the intro. Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, we're rusty. Our powers, they're not working again. Three, two,
3, 2, 1.
one. There we
Oh
go.
boy, for a second there I was like, oh boy, check for the candle. Maybe it's going out. Those who watch the movie gets it. Those who watch the movie gets it. But anyway, let's move on and introduce our guest, someone who has shape-shifting powers of his own, like Camilo, our favorite music teacher, Mr. Ronald Yu.
Woo!
There.
Hi,
What's up, sir?
sir. Sir
I think
Mike.
you're muted.
Okay, can you hear me
There
now?
we go. Hi,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay,
Welcome
Yes,
to
sir.
clearly.
FortiKast.
Good timing. The dog started barking, so it
Yes,
happens.
it's okay. So, sir, I know you really love the movie because you're very active in FB and I see a lot of that. So, but
Yeah,
before we let all those thoughts out, I want to know how was your week?
I'm good. It was a tiring week. It was a wrap up for the second term. Still giving requirements for some people. So, but yeah, it's okay, I guess. So I survived as usual.
Right. So yeah, I heard that it's the end of second term for the junior high
Ah,
school,
yeah, you both are
which
senior high
means
school.
they're also experiencing their very own hell week. Lucky for
Yeah,
us, we only get two end of terms. You know.
yeah,
So
yeah.
um, you know what, Anton? Maybe we could kick off this conversation already. Let's go.
All right. So, moving on to the first question. As you know, everybody's excited about Encanto. So, sir, what did you like about the movie? Like, what made it so good in your opinion compared to all or most other animated Disney DreamWorks movies that you've seen?
Uh, I think I think Migs here said everything already.
Oh no!
Actually, no,
Oh no!
I mean, he pretty much said a lot of the good things about this movie. That it's
Oh.
not something that you really expect from a Disney movie because it touches upon some themes that are not typically
Mm.
used by Disney. Okay, I mean, yeah, he Migs here raised a fair point. For those of you who've not seen the movie and probably just saw a trailer, the trailers kind of misrepresent the movie as some sort of an adventure type of thing. But it's it's more about that. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
I mean, on the surface, the movie is very beautiful, musically,
Mm-hmm.
artistically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's what really captivates you at the start. And um, I mean, I was watching with my family the first time, and then I literally said out loud, "Oh, this is a very beautiful movie." Like we were watching on a big screen, and the colors, everything popped out, and then the songs there, very catchy. Then, so yeah, it's really something that hooks you in, and then the moment that you're you're deep into the movie, the lore and the
Mm-hmm.
story and the conflicts draw you in. So yeah, so for those who have no idea what the movie's about, without spoiling much, it's basically about family. That's the most general thing I can say, and um, I think it drew a lot of fans then because it
Mm-hmm.
explored intergenerational family relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
um, it tries to bridge understanding between generations because each generation has its own traumas, their own problems, and stuff like that that the others may not readily see. So parang um, yeah, there's sort of understanding that's going on throughout the process of the whole movie. So yeah, what I like,
Sir,
so yeah, to answer
oh,
the question, I
uh,
like the movie for its songs, for its story, for its plot, for its art, everything. Okay.
Mm.
so
Everything I
I
would say.
just want to comment on what you said, sir, the intergenerational family thing. Um, I feel like as Filipinos, we
Yes.
have very close family ties,
Yeah,
and it really was nice to see this kind of representation of
Mm-hmm.
people living with their lolas
yeah,
and titas in the same
yeah, of
house.
course.
So it's like very relatable. I mean,
Actually,
uh,
one
even if
point
it's
I,
set on the other side of the
of
world,
course,
I think.
that's actually one point that I raised.
Yeah.
I mean, in one of my posts,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people feel represented, and even though, ironically, nga, if you
Mm-hmm.
remember the movie Raya, 'di ba? Parang
Yeah.
it's about Southeast Asia, pero parang I find that more more Filipinos relate more to this movie
Mm-hmm.
in particular.
Yes, sir.
Not just because of the shared Latino heritage, kasi nga, di ba,
Mm-hmm.
tayo rin naman meron. So, but because of the family dynamics that happened there. So, I've read that ayun nga, their characteristics and even abilities are sort of patterned din nga about around the the stereotypical family dynamics. For example, I mean, you have an aunt who's very moody, and then you have a mother who heals you with her cooking. I mean, figuratively or probably emotionally, but yeah, so stuff like that. It plays upon those themes and those
Mm-hmm.
relationships. Then. So yeah, very good point. Matt. So it's very relatable.
Mm.
You can see yourself represented in that, and
Yeah, about the Southeast Asia thing, like yeah, it's very ironic because I watched Raya and the Last Dragon, and I think the closest thing we have to being able to relate to it as Filipinos was when they showed the Arnistics, and that's it.
oh yeah, yeah.
Then after that, like,
Um,
okay, it was a fine movie, but after viewing it, then the hype down. I enjoyed it while watching.
okay naman
But
yun.
about Encanto, not only is it relatable, it's also exciting. You said that the trailers made it look like it's gonna be some sort of adventure, and while it isn't that, it felt. I saw someone say that it felt like an adventure, even though they didn't even go anywhere
Mm-hmm.
outside the house, which is
Yeah.
yes, I completely agree. It felt like a grand adventure while still being closely about the family living in the same house. So I think that's like touching on the themes as well. Maybe family is an adventure. So I don't know. I'm rambling right now. So let's just move on to the second.
One
Oh,
last thing.
yes.
Uh, you know, actually, when I first finished it, I was like, "Oh, that's it." Because or when halfway through the movie, there was no like big adventure yet. You
Mm-hmm.
know how Disney movies, like, especially when, um, okay, those who don't want to hear spoilers, cover your ears for like 2 seconds. When
Okay.
Mirabelle started,
Or maybe not. Maybe don't give details. Just be generic. Because
okay, so
I actually want people to
when
enjoy this film then on their own.
when
Mm-hmm.
she was starting to feel like she had to prove something,
Mm-hmm.
I I really thought she was gonna go like trek the
Oh,
mountains, cross the
that
rivers,
moment.
Yeah, yeah.
but
That moment.
she just
She
she
just
just
Actually,
talks
yun
to
nga,
her family
stayed
after that.
the
like
conflicts and the resolution of conflicts are mostly internal nowadays, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I think
So
the
that
attachment with
was
us runs deep.
yes.
Yeah,
And I also
I
think it reflects our current situation where we can't go outside the house.
nice. I heard someone
So
compare it like it's like a video game where you go through multiple levels of having boss battles, but instead of battles, they're therapy sessions, and the boss therapy session is with the grandma right there.
yes.
So that's how it worked. So that's why like it felt like an adventure, but then after the moment Anton was talking about, the first thing she does was not trek the mountains; it was go at talk to her cousin.
Yeah,
So
it was everything was figurative, like
it
uh,
was
moving mountains. Parang
moving
Mm-hmm.
mountains,
it's being compared. I mean, the fact that they're comparing um, dealing with your emotions with moving mountains, that
moving
kind of says a
mountains,
lot.
or what I feel like the question is very generic. So if we go through the series of next questions, then we can get into more specifics of what makes the movie good. So it's a musical. Obviously, we need to talk about the music. And sir, for us, it was nice. It was catchy. It was great. But we can't. Most of us probably can't identify why we feel that way. But maybe you could because you teach this.
Well, yeah, I actually when I was given the questions, I kind of expected then that kind of question will pop kasi yeah, ako yung hinila nyo eh. So, but yeah, the music is good objectively, and I guess both the lyrics and the music
Mm-hmm.
contribute to that. Um, so for those who are not in the know, the composer of the songs is Lin Manuel Miranda, who is better known for his work in Hamilton, and in fact, that's the only work of him that I know, not counting Tick Tick Boom. But anyway, um, yes. So first of all, the lyrics, the text. I mean, I don't know how much he collaborated with the screenwriters here, but I mean the fact that he's able to make it work with the music and make it catchy and present it in a way that's relatable. That's very good. I mean, um, so uh, so I guess I'm talking about Bruno now, right? So that
What?
song, when I first heard it, I was completely clueless about the hype surrounding that song, and um, right after I heard that one, uh, that that's basically the highlight of the musical for me. I mean, the moment I heard that one, yun nga, napasabi rin ako na, oh, that this song is really good, and considering the subject topic that is about dissing your missing uncle, it's quite a banger and the unusual topic for a Disney song, but he made it work. So okay, that's a genius. And I'm still not answering. What makes the music good? I have here. I do have a piano in front of me. I mean, it's just my usual setup then. But I guess musically, um, it's it's very rich and complex. It draws inspiration from Latin American music like salsa, reggae. Pero the elements that break it down make it really accessible for anyone that is not even familiar with these genres. And I guess with these genres, then are very openly accessible to people. But for example, with that song, we don't talk about Bruno. I was addicted to playing that on the piano for quite a while. But if you break that song down, um, again, I'm trying to make this accessible for the people who are not familiar with the film. The it it's many characters singing, but they have a similar foundation. They're singing on the same
Mm-hmm.
chords. So
Mm-hmm.
that's why, um, for instance, you have actually since a lot of you are my music students, you would know this. So it goes with the pattern 1 4 5 4. So C minor, F minor, then it goes G, then F minor. That one, that basic sequence, and then every now and then it would end with A major, A flat major, and then G. So parang yun yung punctuation in between the sections. But yun nga, because it has that same foundation all throughout, whether you're singing It was my wedding day, we're getting married, or whether you're singing 7 foot frame, red sun always bright, it's the same. Or um, I don't know how to rap Dolores' part, but diba, it's the same chord. Tapos everything, almost everything ends with we don't talk about stuff like that. So, and then because they have that same foundation, madali silang, I mean, madali kasi composing these melodies also takes creativity, diba? But
Mm-hmm.
they it works so well in the end where sama-sama na sila. And doon nga natuwa maraming tao and it introduced a lot of people to the concept of people singing their different parts na sabay-sabay in a musical. Kasi
Mm-hmm.
it's not exactly a very new concept. Like,
Mm-hmm.
one
It was
particular
Hamilton.
example I have in mind is Les Miserables. For those familiar
Mm-hmm.
with the musical, uh,
Mm-hmm.
there's a famous song there that's usually performed when they want to show off the whole cast. One day more.
Mm-hmm.
So they have different lines there also. They sing one by one or maybe in pairs. And then at the end, parang sabay-sabay, di ba? So I've seen people call this style madrigal, although that's not exactly accurate.
Oh.
Madrigal kasi, di ba, it's the name of the characters in the movie, di ba?
Mm-hmm.
So for those of you who went through grade 9 music with me, madrigal is a specific genre in the around the Renaissance period that it also features multiple singers, but it has the same feature as what's happening in this musical, which is polyphony. Remember that? Polyphony, different
Of
melodies
course,
entering the
sir.
I
same
was
different
in grade school.
times. And it works kasi yun nga, they are working in counterpoint well with each other. So yeah, I guess magical pa rin naman in the sense that they share the same features, but may specific things din ang magical kasi. But it's a nice, I guess it's a nice coincidence. So other than that, the music builds well then kasi you have songs for these different characters, and um, they have what they call motifs. You know that concept. This is
Mm-hmm.
also a thing in movie soundtracks. Di ba, parang certain sounds are associated with a certain character. Not just in this movie. So when you watch movies, try listening to certain. Whenever a character appears, usually there's a sound associated with them. So dito, may mga bagay din na ganon that is recurring. For example, another famous song in the movie is Dos Oruguitas, the Spanish song,
Mm-hmm.
which was associated with their grandparents. So you
Oscar
have something
nominee.
like and you'll notice, so it's sang later in the movie associated with the grandparents. But where have you heard it before? It was in the introductory song when the grandmother was singing. We swear to always help those around us. Yeah. Tapos another so that's the motive associated with that character. Another one would be Isabella. This theme. That one. That one appeared in the Bruno song, but it also appeared in two other places as well. In the I forgot the title. In the Hakaranda song. That one appeared.
What else can I do?
Yeah, what else can I do? So it may seem that your life is okay. And then at the ending song, which is when they were all singing different parts again, this also appeared again when Isabella appeared. So something we work
Is
as
we
a
work
team.
as a team? You're so strong.
I've seen this
Oh,
movie 4 times. Hindi ko pa sa ulo lahat.
So I remember you teaching us also that sometimes they recycle the melody but then change the lyrics
Yeah,
for
mm-hmm.
different parts of the song, and that
that's
also
a
changes the
concept.
mood
Yeah, that's a
sometimes.
concept called reprising. It's common in musicals,
Mm-hmm.
especially in musicals where you divide it into two acts. Okay, so you hear the theme at the start and you associate it to that character, and then probably there's character development along the way. You'll hear it
Mm-hmm.
again in a different light. So yeah, those kinds of things. As for musical writing, naman, Lin Manuel is known for his rap-like lyrics, and um, the the poetry that happens in the words there is very it's very something. It's very meaty. Like people were comparing certain songs to Hamilton in the way that,
Mm-hmm.
for example, mabilis yung lyrics nito or parang ang ganda ng rhyming scheme ng part na to, which is very Lin Manuel daw. Or even the fact that they all sing together at this part, diba?
Mm-hmm.
Tapos stuff that Lin Manuel stereotypically does though is even little things like all his musicals daw have the word hurricane in them. So okay, why not?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice.
That's
I don't know
actually
if that's
very
true
true.
because I only like have two samples. So in Hamilton that
That
appeared in
was
the High of the
the
Hurricane,
yeah.
and then here it appeared two times.
Yeah.
Hurricane of Jacarandas and
I can't control the
Married in
hurricane.
a Hurricane.
Actually, also it's in what's the title? The one Mirabelle song. I can't control the morning rain or a hurricane. But
Yeah, he, he,
anyway,
he really loves the word
yep.
hurricanes. Oh, but I guess those are the kinds of things that little things that you stamp your work with para maging
Hmm.
trademark mo, sort of. I don't know if that's intentional or accidental, but yeah.
So
So
Sir
yes,
admitted to watching it so many times. I want to watch it more than twice now, but if I'm gonna watch anything, the entire family has to agree with it, right? Because of
actually,
the
the thing about
Yeah,
watching
yeah,
it so
that's
many
true.
times, first of all, we ended up watching it because I will probably end up watching most Disney Pixar releases anyway because I grew up with
Hmm.
Disney. So parang
Hmm.
eventually I'd watch it. As I understand, this movie was released last year, but it was made
Mm-hmm.
available streaming on December. Tapos
Mm-hmm.
parang it gained traction sometime in January. And funnily enough nga, parang pinatulan ko rin because we were so agitated waiting for the Spider-Man movie that we ended up okay, what else can we watch right now? So okay,
Ah,
fine, let's now watch this movie. So first time with family, we loved it. And then I watched it with friends. I recommended it to some friends and we did like online
mhm.
viewing. And then I watched it twice with two of my classes. So shout out to grade 7 and grade 8 whom I exposed to this one.
Lucky.
That was during January. Remember when the classes resumed and then nobody
Mm.
was in the mood and then everyone was sick. So parang half
Mm-hmm.
lang ng class yung present. Parang, okay, fine, I won't start lesson. Let's just watch a movie because I don't want to repeat myself anyway once everyone gets back. So, okay, let's watch this. It's a good movie. You should all watch this. Okay. So yeah, 4 times now and probably a fifth time later because I don't know.
I want to rewatch it, but again, rewatches are not popular here because we would prefer to either watch it new or something we haven't watched in a long time, and we've only watched it recently. We
Yeah.
only rewatched it because my sister missed it. But anyway, so to reply to a comment here to get the guitar, one, I don't think that's tuned. Two, I don't really play that much anymore. But um, so yeah, about what was my train of thought? Anton, you wanna talk first before, while I gather myself? I
Sure,
forgot what I
sure,
was gonna
sure.
say.
So, Sir was mentioning how he
Uh,
rewatched it 5 times. That reminded
I
me
remember.
actually. When we were small, we would watch me and my siblings because we all agreed to do it. We watched Tangled until we memorized all the lines. So that's how much we loved the movie. And they were like, "Oh my gosh, is Encanto gonna be our next Tangled where we watch it until we memorize all the lines?" And it's a running candidate for that. So
Meme.
so far, I think we've watched it for 3 4 times. Javi has watched it more because sir, I think he watched it in your
Which
class.
movie? Which movie?
Encanto, sir.
Oh yeah, so
So
yeah, he's one of my
yeah.
victims then. Okay.
So he said
So
he really enjoyed it. He actually was the one who made us watch it. He was like,
Oh,
guys,
so I
guys,
directly
sir, you
influenced
said
this
this
watching.
movie is nice. He's gonna give me a copy. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Let's watch it. So you'd say, and I guess you are the one to credit for exposing us to Encanto,
Oh,
sir.
nice, thanks.
mhm. Yeah, actually, that is actually true because
I don't know
I've
if
been
that's
seeing your post. And I'm like, I really got to start watching this movie. So after I watched the movie, I wanted to see what it looks like when the voice actors are the ones singing it, and I'm trying to look for behind the scenes, and all I saw were fun facts about the movie that gave me materials to talk about the music that I don't really understand. But sure, let me try. Let me So first of all, this is something that's very obvious. You mentioned how everyone's like sing together at the end of "We Don't Talk About Bruno." Well, you compared to One Day More, what saw it compared to was Lin-Manuel Miranda's own work, which is the nonstop in Hamilton. So I don't know. That's one. Another thing is, I mean, I don't know if I don't understand what he said here, but he did say some what Lin let me say Lin. Lin said that um for each character he tries to find each character's pulse to write their song for them. I guess that's how he wrote We Don't Talk About Bruno. But then what I found interesting was what he did for Mirabelle in Waiting on a Miracle, where he said na well every I don't know what I'm talking about, so clarify things for me, sir, if I make a mistake. But he said something about everyone else in the family sings in 4 beats, while Mirabelle's main song was in three to
Yeah.
show how she was out of beat. And I guess
Mhm.
that's why for some people that song felt weird. I saw it rank like very low on like when they rank all the songs. But for me, that song was like one of my favorite songs. I mean, I can't decide between the Three Sisters songs. He also talked about how in Luisa's song, he tried to use reggaeton. In Isabella's song, he tried to use some sort of like pop rock
Mhm.
90s
Flavor
Colombian
Monks.
music. I forgot what it's called. But okay, since many of us don't really know. our music facts, what we really can latch onto is the lyrics. And then, like, if you get past the very catchy tunes and listen to just the words, you're like, ouch or oof or whatever. Like, it's, what really the one with the impact for me was Surface Pressure. Even though I don't really relate to that, is because they make me think of my siblings, not me specifically. I think I'm more
Yes.
on a waiting on a miracle thing, which I feel like I'm lower or something. But when I'm listening to Surface Pressure, I'm like, Can I hug? Nope, nope. They don't like hugs, but I wanna hug you guys now."
It's
So
like, oh wow. So that's what
yeah.
they feel. Because I feel like it also expresses the emotions of each character
Mm-hmm.
very well, like their own
Mm-hmm.
individual songs. And
Like
it's
Surface Pressure
also
is my
very
favorite.
relatable. Like the
Mm-hmm.
attitude, you might not relate to their necessarily to their attitude in the movie, but when they
Mm.
sing, it's like their real feelings. So it's like a deeper connection for me.
Yeah. So I don't know what else to say. So Anton,
All right.
you're
So
going
speaking of Encanto and
and these feelings, the
uh
characters and stuff.
yeah, it has several themes like family, unity, finding yourself, maybe. So, do you think they executed these themes well? Was it a good portrayal? And which theme was the best out of all? Which stood out the most? So
I think we kind of pretty much answered all of these naman with our discussion earlier. But yeah, the themes like interfamily, intergenerational healings and stuff. Okay, I think that one was the peak highlight of this movie. Parang yung main ingredient what made it so much a hit, a lasting hit that resonated through a lot of people. And I think especially with the younger generation kasi parang um, there's this trend nga na parang sometimes the younger generation feels misunderstood nga by the older ones. And actually, you can say vice versa na rin. So parang
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
who has it who has it worse. But instead of pitting those against each other, parang pinapakita the key here is um, understanding and looking past the surface, so to speak, para you can get a more clearer picture of why the other ones are acting this way, diba? It's ano it's maybe it's deep seated trauma that cannot just be um, that most people would tend to ignore kasi nga probably family cultural family dynamics would tend to ignore those kinds of things, but eto nga pinakita that it's essential. So yeah, those themes are really executed well. Okay? And the fact that you we're not just talking about the how good the music is, how good the visuals are, but the fact that we're talking about this on a deeper level, yun talaga yung nag-stick eh. Diba? So
Mm-hmm.
parang hook lang natin yung songs, but it goes much deeper than that.
Mm-hmm. So like I don't know if it's just me, but I feel I've been noticing a trend lately among movies where it feels like people are saying, okay, so how can we make this movie relatable for younger generations or maybe even old people? And they, for some reason, the theme they decided to to go with was mental health. Like we did a
or
40
inner
review of
struggles.
yeah, we did a 40 review of Dear Evan Hansen a few while back, and this time well, we're not gonna exactly say that. I'm not gonna say that maybe they actually have some sort of mental health or what um, theme in there per se, but there's definitely like to how we look into the inner workings of the characters, especially in their songs. That you know, it feels like it's a free therapy session. Although if you do need therapy, don't substitute with just watching musicals. But yeah, something about the movie and it's the about it talking about feelings that maybe you yourself couldn't even put to words that you were feeling yourself. That yeah, that's very powerful. And the fact that the movie is also about family. Now, okay, I'm just saying this, it just came to my mind just a while ago that not only is our musicals, not only do musicals feel like free therapy, the fact that the theme of this movie is family, maybe it's like sending a message. Hey, if you're struggling through anything like right now, if you feel like you relate to these characters, maybe have a talk with your family, or maybe just be with your family. That's really gonna help. So yeah, that's really what stood out to me, the how the characters really talked about their emotions, and how you can not only feel their emotions but like understand it, feel like, hey, I think I felt that before. That's the standout for me. Like, anything to comment, Anton?
Well, yeah, I have to agree with everything that you guys said. Um, so yeah, the themes here in this movie was, I think, instead of focusing on the usual Disney movie like finding yourself through an adventure, or finding
Moana,
your
Frozen,
purpose, or saving the world, you
Raya.
know, it's it's more on um technically saving your family,
Mm-hmm.
but not just realizing that it's not your job only, that you have to get everyone to work together, and that's the only way you can, you know uh save the family. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's unique in that way.
I remember someone pointing out that in the lyrics of Waiting on a Miracle, Mirabel said that she will move the mountains, make new trees and flowers grow, and heal what's broken. Show this family something new. And someone pointed out that she, in by the end of the movie, she did all of that. I won't say what move the mountains means because that's kind of a spoiler. Make new trees and flowers bloom has something to do with Isabella. Those who are no, but show this family something new and heal what's broken is basically what the whole movie revolved around. It's not something physically broken that she fixed. She fixed the cracks between the among the family, separating each of them, like, and showed them something new. Showed the grandma that we are the gift. It's not the magic house, not the magic powers. It's us that's important. Like, it's kind of sad that that's new for the grandma. Um, yeah, it just also makes me think of the joke that someone said that Julieta's healing doesn't work on mental health, but at least Mirabel got to be the family therapist for a while. So yeah, anything else to comment, sir? Don?
Yeah, I'm done.
None. Okay, so in that case, Don, if you want to say the next question.
All right, so next question. Well, uh given that the movie, as we established, is about family, sir, how do you think Encanto represents real families, especially Filipino families? Because we said earlier that um, a lot of Filipinos can relate more to this movie than Raya. So why is that again, sir?
Well, first of all, superficially, it's about the large family, diba? So all of
Mm-hmm.
them living together and having all these dynamics. But also, um, I mean, our culture of I guess respect towards older generations. Parang we we value a sense of obligation towards the the elderly. That's why parang important for us most of the time in yung yung how they how they view us, 'di ba? Parang there's always this dynamic where uh, parang you try to prove your worth to them, which yun nga parang yung nagiging isa sa mga themes na brought about in the movie, which is um, finding your worth and letting others see your worth. But um, and also I guess the different personalities that develop with a large family like this, and the kinds of dynamics and um, interactions that you get with a normal family. So yeah, and family traditions naman. I think it's also I mean, yung family traditions na nangyari sa Encanto, kaya rin siguro very relatable sa Philippines. It's because of the common Hispanic heritage din, which and and again rooted rin siguro in the Catholic values that are instilled in us, di ba? Na we value family and we um, parang we place great importance on our relationships with the family. Sometimes not always to the best um, result, but we do try our best. So yeah.
So I have some to comment something about the family traditions. I think possibly the most common family tradition is simply sitting at the same table,
Mhm.
eating together, and I think am I mistaken to say that that's getting a little less common nowadays? I mean, maybe not here in the Philippines, but if
Oh
I
yeah, in
understand it
other
correctly, that's how.
countries, I
Yeah,
Yeah,
think
which is why I think
definitely.
for
probably.
us it really hit hard when we saw that drawn on plate.
Yeah,
Like when you
definitely.
find out, oh, he's been there. Like family was definitely the central theme. Like boy, my brain is getting empty right now. So maybe pick it up, Anton, so that I don't or we don't lose the
Well,
flow here.
so as Miggy was saying, I don't think you see a lot of people even connecting with their like other generations, like their grandparents, their sometimes even their parents nowadays, because they feel that as there's a like generational gap, like they can't relate to each other anymore. So I remember in the JCL last year, Dr. Hal Urban was saying, not just Dr. Hal Urban, all of them were saying that eating dinner with family or eating with family is a very powerful
Mm.
way to, you know, is lead a Jesus-centered life, stay connected with each other, and solve problems together. So I think it was also highlighted in this movie.
Okay, I think I remember what I wanted to say now. The thing about the large families, the thing about them is that since there's so many people, it's like it's hard to keep up with everyone, much less be equally close to everyone as much as possible. So I saw someone say that each character felt like they were assigned, each child felt like they were assigned one adult. The most obvious ones being Isabella was definitely the favorite of the grand of Abuela, but something that was kind of surprising was Mirabel felt like the adult in Antonio. There, that's his name, Antonio's life. So like, I think that's like definitely the theme that was explored there. That definitely they're getting close, but then the people who are not so close, like there's like the generational gap that's hard to break. The respect of our elders thing is very common for us, I guess, also for Colombians, and I think that's like keeping them from standing up for themselves against um abuela, like instead of speaking up because they have so much respect for her. And I think it's the same way with us. Like even if we disagree so much with what our elders are saying, it's hard to like call them out for it, especially since they're very much deep seated in their ways already. So yeah, something definitely well explored there. Do you guys want to move on to the next question? Because I think this is the question I was itching to ask since the start of this episode. So I think for the all of almost all these questions, we were a little limited because everything else has already been before the question was given. We already answered it previously, and we're trying not to give spoilers. But I think in this one we could let loose. I just really want to ask, sir, Who is your favorite character? Who is the most relatable character for you? And who is the most sympathetic character? Each character is unique, they have their own struggles. Which one did you identify or relate with the most?
Um, well, you phrased it in three separate questions, and actually,
Yes.
I do have different answers nga for those of them.
Yes.
Favorite, I guess favorite talaga is, I mean, the one that I just feel happy seeing kapag nasa screen siya and without spare pamadiga. I guess, ala lang, masyado lang siyang, ano, masyado lang siyang fun
Y-
panoorin. Um,
Yep. Peppa.
but as far as powers, I probably favorite ko siguro kay Camilo. Yeah, the shape-shifting thing, it looks fun.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and for the most relatable character, I would say, um, well, parang si Ana, I think ito rin yung common answer ng karamihan, Luisa. Because like you mentioned before, the pressure of being the elder, well, she's not the eldest, but the pressure of being an elder sibling um, that that people, in particular the elders, have much expectations on. Parang you always are pressured to prove yourself as worthy. So that kind of pressure can lead to, I mean, if there are unrealistic expectations involved, so
Mm-hmm.
dun siguro mag-lead sa probably disappointments or even disagreements that can be that that kung hindi nyo pag-uusapan, hindi talaga may resolve. So with that, ayun nga, relatability sa kanya rin. And actually, to lesser extent, to Isabella din, kasi, I mean, thematically, parang pareho rin yung songs niya, di ba? Parang
Mm-hmm.
the pressure of expectations.
Pressure of expectations. Yeah.
Kasi the expectation of being the perfect one. So, panganay ka, kailangan ikaw yung parang role
Mm,
model, ikaw yung magaling, ikaw yung... Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I guess that one, relatability.
Okay.
Panganay
So
representation here.
here, but okay. And before I forget to say it, people down in the comments answer those three questions. Also, we're gonna read them in the two sets. Who is your favorite character? Who is the most relatable character? Who is the most sympathetic character? Because I also have three separate questions. I answers for these. Favorite character is Dolores. I don't know why. She just something about her just feels cool, especially since her power is very like understated. I think that's mostly it. I guess it's also because she's the one that raps, so very shallow there. But most relatable character for me was Mirabel. It's not because I feel like that I'm lesser than all the rest of my siblings, but it's because I feel like I have less to contribute. Like I have a laziness problem that is hard to kick. So I see everyone else like having a already complaining about how they have so much to do and they do these like big jobs that make my chores look like baby work. And I think that as much as I feel bad for them, for some reason I can't get myself to try and learn to do those things. Yeah, as I said, I have a problem. As for most sympathetic, the one I really felt for was Luisa, because she's the one that reminded me of those siblings that I just mentioned that have such big jobs. You know, Luisa's job is to reroute the river, so that's messed up. So but specifically, I was really thinking of my sister, the one who's just a couple of years younger than me, but feels very much older than me. She was the one that made me think of Luisa. But when I asked her who she relates to the most, she said Mirabel, which I think surprised me, but at the same time, I get it because I guess you could relate to the same character in different ways. I think it's because the way she sees herself, she thinks that she's not as smart as the rest of us, but honestly, I feel jealous of her, of how smart she is. So, I don't know. So, that's me. How about you, Anton?
Well, I guess I also have three different answers. So first one is the favorite character, Camilo. His vibes are just amazing. Like he seems like a very fun person to be around. Power who I'd like to have the mom's power, Julieta's power, because like being able to heal someone because of your food, that's like
Hope they like cake, so they
what
got that.
I would love that. I would love that. And the most relatable character, this one is a bit hard for me. I didn't exactly go like, oh my gosh, yes, struggles. But I think I would relate the most to, again, Luisa. I mean, not to that extent. Like I'm like, whoa, she's got some serious responsibilities, as Miggy said, like rerouting the river. I was like, excuse me, rerouting the river, and then she literally, does everything, and I'm like, wow, okay. Uh, I I think I should become a bit more like Luisa, but I feel like Luisa because she's just such a relatable character because she keeps it inside, I guess, in a way. A lot of people don't like to say, "Oh, you know, I feel this," because they they're afraid of people saying they're weak. And of course, her power is that she's strong. She can't be weak, so she thinks, "Oh, I can't rest. I can't show any of this weakness." And that's where we start to differ, because I like resting. I value my sleep a lot, but the pressure, as you guys also said, even if she's not the eldest, it's like she's the eldest because
Mhm.
of the responsibilities that's on her. And that was like, wow, that's uncommon to see in a movie, because usually it's like the eldest who's burdened with all of these decisions, and then maybe the middle child is, you know uh not it's in the middle of everything. The younger child, you know gets little responsibilities, but it's all on the eldest usually. There's no there's no movie really that says an elder figure. I think that's what Luisa is. She acts like the elder figure to the eldest and the youngest, which is very interesting for me. So yeah, that's my answer.
While we're on the subject of characters, maybe we could talk a bit about Abuela. What's your take? Because I've heard people call her, myself included, call her the villain of the movie, but that's just oversimplified. So, anything you want to say about her character, sir?
I don't think I have anything much to add naman. But maybe I just want to say that um, hurt people hurt people. Again,
Mhm.
hurt people hurt people.
Ooh,
And
Oh, okay.
interesting insight,
That took me a
sir.
while.
I think I have to rephrase, but actually that's how most people put it.
Hmm.
If you yourself are hurt, okay, there's a
Hmm.
tendency to, I mean, if you don't seek healing, then you will also end up hurting other people. So people who are hurt people. So I mean, it's all about. She has her faults, but it's a two-way street. It's all about
Hmm.
understanding her. And
Hmm.
so why she acts like that, and if you talk about it, then maybe the healing can begin. So
So yeah.
ayoko rin magbigay ng details, baka may ma-spoil. But that's the
Okay.
summary of the thing.
Okay. Baka maybe I should also not give details, but that's pretty much it. Like I saw a lot of the things I'm saying right now I got from the internet, honestly. But I saw it that saying that the abuela um is toxic, but also saying that the abuela is a victim of her past can and should coexist, and maybe like what can we get from Abuela ba? Like maybe it's just the dang. Why am I losing all my train of thought today? Uh, like maybe instead of being judgmental, like because I think that's really it. Like maybe a lot of toxic people are like very judgmental. Instead of being judgmental back, you seek to understand. As Sir said, um, it's a two-way street. She's a hurt person. So instead of just taking the hurt or hurting back, you try to understand, right? If I'm saying it correctly. Okay. Um, on to you. We good? We good?
Well, I just want to say one last thing before we move
Okay.
on to the next segment. Abuela, this is also from the point of view like sometimes we want to protect something so much, like the
Hmm.
miracle in her case, that we lose sight why we had that thing in the first
Mm-hmm.
place.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's the number one lesson we can get from Abuela. And the lesson that I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
oh nga no.
I remember nga na someone said when the grandfather sacrificed himself. Not really spoiler. This is part of the beginning of the movie. Um, he didn't sacrifice himself so that they could have a miracle, even though that was the result of his sacrifice. He sacrificed
Yes.
himself so that the family, could live, could be together. So that's what Abuela lost sight of. That um, her husband sacrificed himself for their kids, not for the magic house and candle suddenly showed up. So yeah, before we move on, again reminding everyone to comment down so we could read them in two cents. Comment down your favorite character, your most relatable character, and the most sympathetic character. It may be add in there if you want to say if you could have a superpower, maybe something that's already in the movie or something that feels like it will fit in the movie. What would it be? So um, I think it's time for us to give our two cents. Thank you, sir, for joining us today. Everyone, join us in thanking this great man over here. Thank you for being here. This is like
Woo!
your second episode.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you for
always a pleasure,
making me
sir.
part of it.
And think now it's time for us to move on to the next segment.
All right. We
All
are
right,
in.
so
Two
we actually
cents.
do we actually did get a couple of responses here. So Javi Ink Boy did say that he is Peppa who catastrophizes your brother. Can you tell me what that's about?
Well, he tends to worry because
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't like not being in control. For example, if we're riding a jet ski and I'm driving, he doesn't like being in the back because he's not holding it.
Okay,
And
okay.
sometimes he doesn't even want to
Jet
go
ski.
on the jet ski, which I totally understand. I mean, I don't like being in a roller coaster because I don't know how it will
Mm,
twist and turn,
okay,
things like that. So,
okay.
yeah.
Actually, a thing about Peppa, what I really stood out to me was that one moment where he's going like, "Clear skies," to try and turn off the cloud, and I'm like, if any member of the family needs some love and help, this is it. And we also have another answer straightforward. Kaligagan said Camilo, Mirabel, and Luisa, and I think we don't need to ask him why that is so. Since that's like a combination of all our answers. Camilo, I'm pretty sure, is for the vibe and the powers. Mirabel is the most relatable. Yep, that's understandable. And Luisa being the one that's the most sympathetic. Like that's what everyone felt. So how about okay, so that we could justify this segment a bit. What about powers? If you would have a power that maybe is already there or something that feels like it belongs there, what would it be?
You know, I said earlier that I wanted to have uh Julieta's power,
Mm-hmm.
making food and then healing people with it. That's like so nice. Imagine
Mm-hmm.
making candy. and you give it to someone and then they're already healed. That's super awesome. But I guess not something that's not there.
Okay, you have one.
Uh, well, I've always wanted to. Ever since I was small, I wanted to fly.
Oh, you're not alone. My brother is obsessed with the idea
Yeah,
of when are we gonna develop technology for unmanned flight?
because I
Uh
mean, I grew up watching Superman, and I've always wanted to fly. So
mm,
yeah, flight. It's it's very basic, but I would love to own a jetpack or something one day when it gets developed. How about you,
okay.
maybe?
So for me, well, I don't think I could take Julieta's power unless people love eggs. You know, um, but you know what's cool about that? You could justify making the unhealthiest thing ever and actually give it to someone and say it's good for you.
That that would be cool. Like imagine making potato chips and then just saying health, free health. Oh my goodness, that would be the
So
best.
yeah. So if it was something that's already there, I do. I mean, I really do like Amilo's power. But when I was thinking of what powers do I want, of really high on my list was telekinesis, but that felt too comic book, not Encanto. So I went, okay, let's go further from there. What about telepathy? Still feels too much like a superhero thing. Also, we already have Dolores. We don't need to invade people's privacy even further. So then I settled on what's it? This isn't the power. This is value, but they have the same name, empathy, where you could sense other people's emotions. I feel like the family would really benefit from someone like that, and I already feel like I'm trying to really work on trying to read people and how they feel more. Um, I used to pride myself in saying I'm a very sensitive person. I'm not sure if I could say the same now, but I hope I can, or at least I still will in the future. So yeah, that's that. And oh, we have a question.
Oh, yes. Yes, we'll upgrade Julieta's powers to include mental health.
Eh,
That would save
That
so
would
many people's lives. Legit.
that could technically be arranged. Just make everything full of chocolate, since it's a temporary stress reliever. It's been proven. Chocolate and caffeine are the only socially acceptable addictions and stuff. So yeah, I guess we don't have much to say here now. Should we just move on to the wow? You want some
Well,
words
we
of
had a
wisdom,
lot
guys?
of insights to be fair
Yeah,
in
I don't know if I could.
focus.
Let me see if I could add more words of wisdom to that. So
All right,
time
let's
for some words of
roll
wisdom.
the intro.
What am I gonna pick? Okay, I'm trying to think of what to say, and since I already mentioned family, maybe we could stick with that. I don't think I shared this in FortiKast before, but um, last year in online school, I got overwhelmed like a lot. I didn't know if I could continue going through online school, and what really helped me was my parents. And I think as could be said, the same could be said during the summer break where I broke down several times, and even until now, like I still have my episodes. So what I think I could say is, really what we've been saying this whole episode long, family is everything. That they are really the first line of defense, the frontliners when it comes to your well-being. It's the family that's the frontliners. You know. So I guess my words of wisdom for today really is, if your mom is out there, if your dad is out there watching with you, or maybe in the other room while you're watching this, go hug them for me. Thank you. That's
Amen.
that's it.
I would also want to say something actually. I just thought about it now. My dad always said there's a reason why you can choose your friends but not choose your family,
Mm-hmm.
because your family is there from the beginning. God
Hmm.
gave them to you for a reason.
That's nice. That's true. But also for the people out there, I don't know what are the chances that someone out there is adopted. But if you do, just remember your parents chose you. Hug them for me as well. Thank you. Oh, and I guess we don't really have anything else to say here, right?
Yeah,
I guess
this episode is filled with great insights. I think the whole episode was basically
the
a
whole
wow.
episode is a wow. Like a stretched into an hour. So yeah, that's FortiKast for you, sharing the good vibes, the truth, and bringing you all together. So, Virtus in Veritate, there is strength in virtue. This has been the FortiKast online show, doing what we have just said just now. So next week, we'll see what will happen. But in the meantime, see you guys. Fortuna Fabit Fortibus. God bless.
Happy weekend.